everyone, today is Monday. I want to share with you three of my favorite, well, not my favorite, but three of my good topics that I know that a lot of people are interested in, and I want to share my experience, my personal experience. And the first one is about online dating. Yes. It seems like it's such a big word now. Before 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it was such a taboo. A lot of people were against that, and now it seems like the go-to place. My experience, and hopefully that will shed some light into what online dating did for me and what it could do for you. I am not advertising for online dating, so don't worry about that. They're not paying me for that. Well, they don't pay me for anything. First of all, one of the tips that I want to give you is that online dating is not your solution to not being able to find guys in your neighborhood or church or friend circle. The second tip that I want to give you about online dating is that you have to approach it as if you are there for an interview. I find it that putting myself out there, being real, showing my skills and the beautiful things about me that someone might not know is the same way. So you put your best foot forward. It's the same thing. I went out, I wrote my heart out. I wrote what I like, what I don't like. So, for example, I sign up on eHarmony, and they do have a lengthy questionnaire and talking about yourself. So, if that's where you want to take it, definitely make sure that you are writing out of your heart and not out of, I hope someone gets to find me or anything like that, because they do have some algorithms and they combine you. So, beware or be square. The third tip that I want to give you is that be sure that you involve your family and friends. Even if you have a small circle, let someone know that you have put a profile out there. Sometimes there is a need of that support. I know that if it wasn't for my sister and some of my close friends, I wanted to let them know that I'm online. I put my profile out there, and it's also interactive so that you have that support from people that you know, there's going to be some times that you don't get any information or any wink or smile, and it gets a little bit depressing. So you want to make sure that you have that support that's going to help you throughout. And when you do get that wink, that initial contact from, you know, Mr. Hunk Hunk, and definitely keep them posted. Don't make it just yourself, my little, where you put yourself at risk in terms of, not at risk, but in terms of there's some, you know, not very integral or, you know, committed people out there who would want to take advantage of you. So my second topic that I want to share with you is interracial relationship and long distance relationship. Jeff and I have been dating on a 1 hour different time zone. He lives in Chicago, I live in Toronto. And one tip that I want to share with you about interracial relationship is that race can be an issue if you make it an issue, because at the end of the day, it's about two people who have found each other, who care very deeply about each other. And so I don't think that race should be an issue for anybody, and don't make it a big deal out of your relationship because it's all in your head. I grew up in Italy, especially northern Italy, in the 90s, and race was a big deal. I remember that I was kind of thrown back about certain comments that people will make and just the way people would approach you. And sometimes you can grow up with that kind of preconception that, you know, it's because of my skin that people are looking at me like that or anything like that. You gotta get rid of that, because at the end of the day, people would pay to have a relationship where someone loves them and their love is reciprocated. So don't care about what other people say. Just think about the relationship that you have and thank God for that, and live that life to the fullest because you deserve it. If Jeff and I knew that right away, we prayed about it. We're Christians and we both believe in the power of prayer. So we knew already that we were praying, we were believing God for someone who was similar, compatible in our faith, as well as a lot of our compatible little things. When we first started dating, it wasn't something that it was out of the blue. It was very calculated. and we knew what we were expecting out of a relationship. We weren't just there to play games. We were there because we were looking for a long-term kind of relationship that would take us to a solid commitment, which is a marriage. And one of the things about interracial couple is that there's little things that someone would say about you that you're like, oh, that was so offensive, or like a comment that you're like, where did that come from? The person can interpret it in a different way, and then you might interpret it in the other way. So just like with any other relationship that you have, whether it's your friends or your best friends, just be careful, be sensitive. Know that the other person is just as sensitive as you are. Communication is number one. If you don't communicate, it ain't gonna work. Especially for long distance relationship, we didn't have the privilege of being together all the time, so we make sure that we communicated every time. Make sure, if you're one of those cheap people, don't do long distance relationship, because it's gonna cost you a lot of money. I had to change my phone plan so I could include US plan, and my air miles that I accumulated so I could go somewhere fun with my girlfriend. Forget about it, because I use it to go see him, and he used his plan to come see me. So long distance relationship, expensive, yeah, especially if they live a little bit further from me. He lives in Chicago, so it's an hour flight. But let's just say that Air Canada got to know me a lot in the past 1.5 years, so keep that in mind. The other topic that I want to share with you is investing in yourself. As you know, I am an ambassador of absolutely investing in yourself, continuing developing yourself. And at 31, I might not see a lot in life, but I know for sure that there's a lot of things that I have gained knowledge about by being curious. I have one of the books that I'm reading, I love to read, and it is the Choose Yourself to Wealth by James Altucher. It is a controversial book, I have to say. I do read a lot of books. This one is about business, is developing yourself. And I usually tend to read female books, self-help books. I love Joyce Meyer's books. I absolutely love any other book that has to do with women, empowering women, and also developing your inner person. So when I chose this book, it was mostly about how to come up with creative ideas, and I have to say it's really good. One of the things that I know for sure is that one day I'm going to be my own boss. Yes, I'm going to be my own boss. And the only way that I wanted to start off is by learning from other people. And so one of my mentors that I absolutely adore, her name is Rachel Jackson. You can follow her on the wealthwithrachel.com, and I will put the link down here. And she had a great video about what we do in particular home-based business and the direct marketing or direct sales. I am in ViLife for the past year, and Jeff as well, and one of the things that I have learned was to be very concise about what you want. One of the things that I love about her is that she says the beauty about direct sales is that you gotta choose the right company. You have to get the one with the proven track record that is between 5 years to 15 years, not too old and not too new. You want to make sure that it's something that it's proven and they have a backbone to it. Choose the right mentor. You want to make sure that he is or she is a reputable, someone who's result oriented as well as has integrity. Look at their life, look at their track record. Are they people that you would invite in your home with your family around? Not just doing business, but also being a friend and a partner. The third thing that I really liked about her video is about follow the simple system. It's like a recipe. I'm not a great cook, and one thing that I learned from my sister is that when there is a recipe, you follow it, because that's what is, you want to make sure that just like it's in the book, you want to have the same example coming out of your oven. So that's what I did in my past 8 months of fully committing to ViLife, and I've seen the results. And if you have any questions about that, definitely let me know. Write a comment down here, and then we'll take it from there. So on that note, just want to say thank you so much for following. These are my 3 topics.